Hello people of the world, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brunella. Thank you for joining me. If you know who I am, then, well, thank you. How are you? So Makeup Revolution, I've got another release, another day, another release. I know I don't review all of their products. They have too many releases, skincare stuff, and iHeart. I've not touched any of those at all. But it is a turn of this. This is part of the latest Revolution Pro releases, Revolution Pro Neutral releases, I should say. And this is the new Neutral Smoke palette, and the cost is £12. They have two others, but I didn't choose the others. So is this one worth the £12? Is this going to be a more positive review than the last two I did? We shall find out. Alrighty, before we get started, I'm just going to go and give you some details about the palette itself. If you want to skip straight to the demo, look up somewhere so you can go straight to that. Right, according to Makeup Revolution, part of the new Neutrals collection, Get Glam with Smoked Shadow Palette, packed with a dusky array of charcoals, blacks, navies and neutrals. This £18 shadow palette is made up of matte, reflective, pearl and glitter pigments to create looks that will leave you with an ultra sultry, smoky look. So 18 eyeshadows in total. This is magnetic, as you can see, black, and it's got a mirror on the inside, a nice big mirror, which is very handy. And just looking at the inside, like as you had a closer look, I'm just going to show you which ones are the pressed pigments. So Trigger is a pressed pigment. That is Trigger here. That one. And next one is Smite, which will be this one here. And then after Smite, we've got Tremble, which is this one here. Ooh, look at that shade of blue. Ooh, yes. And then you've also got Ignite, which is number 15, which is this one here. So those are the pressed pigments, and that's why they can't call it eyeshadow palette. They're calling it shadow palette. So I have to say, initially when I looked, I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to discount that color and I'm going to discount that color. But actually, this one actually could work on the skin. I'm going to start off with this particular shade here. And that is Diffuse. Before we get started, just using concealer. This is the Oma Beauty in the shade Tea Free, brown sugar, Tea Free. I'm actually going to use the mirror. I'm using the Morphe R34. Okay, it's quite powdery. There's quite a bit of pigment and a bit of fallout. And I'm just going to try and blend that towards the top of my crease. Yeah, well, you know when I said that, oh, it's a little bit powdery, but it should be all right. No. This one, I think, not going to work. Yeah, it's looking a little bit ashy, so you can forget about that one if you are my skin tone or darker. Next shade is this brown here, which is 45. Now, looking at my face, it's ashy as anything. That shade is not for my skin tone, but never mind. I'm moving on using the Zoeva 228 brush, and one dab, two dabs. Not bad. And I'm just going to just pack that very slowly in my crease line and then try and blend it. Took a bit of time to blend more, only because at the top I just feel as if there is something missing. There is a transition shade missing. Now you guys know I don't like dipping into other eyeshadow palettes, but it needs something. It really does. It needs another shade, so I'm using the Revolution X NAF collaboration, and I'm just gonna go through something, this one here, tan, this brown here, just gently go over the top of my eye. I'm going back using the original brush, the Morphe brush, and I'm just tapping very gently. And the colour is very, very pigmented. And I'm just going to try and blend a little bit and bring a little bit of warmth towards the top of my eye, because it really does need it. I am much happier. So the next brush is the Morphe R39, and I'm just going to go into Smolder, and I'm going to concentrate Smolder on, this is this shade here. I'm going to concentrate that on the outer edge of the eyes and just blend it in. Now this is going to be a smoky look, but I don't want to go too mad with it being too dark. So I'm just going to tap very, very gently. Oh, that is very pigmented. I'm going to go with Muse, which is this one here. And let's try it with, you guys know I'm quite happy. Ooh. Ooh, wow. Ooh, mama. Oh, whoa. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Okay. You're not messing about this time. Wow. Ooh. Moving on to final shade, this one, Emit. And I used a brush to neaten things up a little bit. So I'm just going to see, whew, very smoky. Actually, come to think of it, let me try Quell and see if it's got more shimmer to it. Oh, not. There's a little bit of shimmer to it. Glitter is included in there, but it's nothing too, you know, I would have preferred a much softer formula, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna, whoo, that is dark. Okay. Not what I wanted or expected. I was expecting that to be more of a shimmer formula, and it's not really working out, so I'm gonna have to rethink this one. Hold on a second, let me let me think about this, because it's not what I was expecting at all. Made up my mind that I'm using this shade here, Quell, and I'm just gonna dab that on the outer corners of the eyes. It's just got some glitter to it, really, to be honest. I would have preferred for a proper shimmer shade. Yeah, did I say shimmer shades? Shimmer shade. But yeah, it's just, I'm not too sure why they've got. I mean, Emmet, or is it Emmet, whichever way you want to pronounce it. This one and this one are so close together formula wise, that I'm not too sure why they actually created colors which were so similar in the same kind of formula. It would have been better to have one, even if it was actually an actual dark glitter itself, a proper glitter pigment. That would have been a lot better. You would have been able to create a look with that. But these are just more like mattes with a little bit of shimmer included, or a little bit of tiny glitters included in there. It just, yeah. Never mind. Right, I'm just going to quickly go and finish off the rest of my face, and then I'll give you some swatches and give you my final thoughts. See you in a moment. Here you have it. It's all done, so it's looking way better than before. I did tell you guys, it just looks a bit until I put everything together. I'm just going to take some random swatches, if I can stop eating my hair, that is. And then just apply these, and I'll go for the shimmers first and see what they're like. And Diffuse. Don't mind my hairy arm. can never get the lines straight when I do my swatches. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Let's try this one. Ooh, that one's really, really soft. And that one is Diffuse, and I have got here Halt, and in the middle I've also got Sepia, and just gonna try some other random ones as well. Try one of the glitter shades. I've got Ignite. You do have to be very gentle. Obviously it's glitter, you're gonna need a glitter glue, but that is the shade there. And another glitter, Smite. It is glitter, to be fair. I mean, swatching glitters, unless you're actually using glue, it's just pointless. And I'm just going to try other shimmers as well. And let's try Trigger and see what okay, Trigger is good. Very different glitter from the others. Very, very different. This one, Trigger, would definitely, you would need glue. You couldn't even get away with trying it on top of another shade. It just wouldn't work. And this shade here is Vexer. And I'm just going to try a few of the mattes. Let's try Aroma and also Tremble. So that's Tremble. And Aroma. So bit messy, but the swatches are not bad. The glitters, obviously you would need glitter glue, but swatches themselves, including even a matte, are not bad at all. I'm just really rubbish at doing them, but it's not about the swatches, to be honest. It's about how they apply on the eyes, and they do apply really, really well on the eyes. Now, what do I think about this eyeshadow palette? I'm a lot more positive about this one than I was with the other three, the other two previous to this. I like the kind of the coolness of the palette. I mean, I know they call it neutral, but it's quite a cool palette and it's quite smoky, and I like the fact that it's different from the others as well. The other two palettes in the neutral range, new ones, and they've got very much similar to the ones I've had, where they've got warms, warm sort of browns, and they've got pinks and so on. And you guys know I've got loads of pinks, so there was no point in me going for that, so I thought I'd go for this instead. It is worth definitely the £12 because it is pigmented. I do wish that again that they had maybe the Diffuse, the first shade that I used, was a slightly warmer and slightly deeper, so that someone of a darker skin can actually use it. Because if you are fair skin, you can use just about every color in here. Just take your time. There are pigments in here, so they're going to be really intense. However, if you're darker skin, then you become quite restricted with, especially the mattes, that you can't use some of them. And to be honest, that needs to be improved. That needs a bit of work for people who have got my skin tone, and you know, others out there who are even darker than me. So that makes it more difficult for them to be able to use these. And to be honest, yeah, work needs to be done, because I think that's the theme that I found with quite the last 3 palettes that I've reviewed. But it is still affordable, and you can still use most of the eyeshadow palette. And I would definitely, out of the other 2 that I recently did a review for, this is one I would go for. This is actually interesting, and it's also got glitter there, so if you want to really go all out, you can use the glitter. I don't necessarily like glitter myself, but that's personal. That's nothing to do with the palette itself. But I will still definitely say this one is £12 worth buying in. So yeah, that's it. Those are my final thoughts. A bit random and a bit tired, and I'm a bit hungry, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I've not had anything to eat, so sorry if I'm a bit spaced out. But be safe, stay happy, and you guys will see me maybe tomorrow, but definitely Sunday as well, 6 p.m. Thank you very much, people, for watching. Bye.